I don't give a shit if people don't like me. People's opinions don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. As you can see, I'm here with Nicole. And if you watched our sex video, that sounds wrong, but if you watched it, you would know exactly what it's about. Then you would know Nicole. So we're back today to talk about confidence. And before we get into the video, I just want to remind you to please hit the subscribe button because we would love you. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more of Nicole, she has a cute series on her channel called Talks with Tay. Like, how cute is that?
Talks with Tay.
I wish I thought of that first. I may copy you eventually, but my sit-down videos like this are going to be called Girl Talk. But I also feel like I need to change that because guys watch my videos too.
Yeah,
so,
but it's a girl talk. We're talking. So.
And we're girls, so it works. Today's video, we are going to be talking about confidence, and I don't want to focus on body confidence, which is obviously important, and like we'll touch on it a bit, but I feel like that's a whole separate video in itself. But today I want to talk about just confidence in who you are, being self-aware, and also how so many women suffer from imposter syndrome. I guess I'll explain what imposter syndrome actually is for those of you who don't know, but as soon as I say it, you're gonna identify with it right away. So imposter syndrome is when you are not confident enough in yourself, so you don't present yourself in a certain way. So for example, I went to an event a few days ago, and when people asked me, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, like, I'm kind of a YouTuber, I'm kind of an influencer, but I don't really want to call myself that. And I feel like women always do that. They're afraid to say, oh, I'm the CEO of this company, or oh, I wanted you to tell them what you were telling me about how, like, when you first met me, the whole YouTube thing.
Oh, yeah, like when I first, well, I didn't actually meet her in person, but I like saw her on Instagram and I saw her on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, she has 600 subscribers or however many you had at the time. And I was like, oh, like I kind of like thought she was kind of gonna be stuck up, and I was like, oh, like she probably won't want to like talk to me because she's too cool. So yeah, like that's kind of like what my first impression was. But then when I met you on Shin's shoot, I was like, oh, this girl's like so sweet, and like we connected, and yeah, so here we are.
And I just wanted you to explain that because we were having a conversation prior to filming, and then she was like telling me that, and I'm like, well, wait, you're a YouTuber too, right? But she's like, oh, well, not as established. And I think we all feel like that, and it was so, first of all, thank you for saying that. And also, it's so crazy for me to hear that someone else thought that of me, that like I was more established than them, and I always feel like I'm under-established. Yeah. Or that I'm not a real YouTuber, but you thought I was.
Yeah, so, totally. Well, because I was just starting my YouTube when I saw yours, and I was like, wow, like she has all these videos, and like even Bonnie, like I saw her videos, and like she was doing it, and I was like, oh, this is so awesome, and like it inspired me to start mine, because I was like, well, if these girls could do it, like I can too.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I just felt like I wanted to start YouTube for so long, and it took me a long time. So
me too.
Yeah, I don't know. When I saw yours, I was like, wow, like this is amazing, and it's almost like you undermine yourself. But I feel like that,
always. Yeah. And it's so interesting just like hearing the two different perspectives, because I always felt like I'm not a real YouTuber. So that just completely goes to show that it's all in your head. Yeah. And the reason I bring that whole thing up is just because, yeah, we're always undermining ourselves. We're always selling ourselves short in a way. And I feel like we shouldn't do that. And I think the reason also that we do that is because we don't want to seem vain, like you said also off camera.
Because I feel like there's like two sides to the spectrum. There's the girls who like are so full of themselves that like have 100% confidence, that are like, yeah, I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's another side to the spectrum where there's like some girls who just, it's almost like you're at the line of where you want to be, but then you're too nervous to like be like, oh yes, I am here. But you're just like, you know what you want to do, but you're too afraid to put it out there. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know what it is.
I think it's because women don't want to seem vain, like you said, and also we're just afraid of owning ourselves. And I think that's something I realized this year so much, was that we should celebrate ourselves. We should celebrate all these small things. We should feel good about our accomplishments. Like back in the day, I would never say, oh, I'm so proud of myself for doing this. Now I'm gonna tell everyone I'm proud of myself for all the things that I've done this year, because why the hell not? And why should I not own that? Like you and I both worked to get where we are right now. There were days where we wished we were here, you know? So even making this video together, I feel like I was almost too scared to collab with anybody before.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I think, yeah, just being able to own it. And that's why I wanted to make this video, just to talk about it, because I feel like so many other women feel the same way. And there is a way to be confident without being cocky. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely cocky people out there.
Yeah.
And it's annoying as hell. But that being said, being confident is not cocky. Also, originally, I wanted to make a video about like gender inequality, but I said I wanted to do more research. But so I'm not going to fully get into it, but I do want to say that if a guy were doing YouTube and he had the same amount of subscribers as either of us, he wouldn't say, oh yeah, like I'm kind of a YouTuber, but like not really. He'd just say, I'm a YouTuber. And I think that's just so crazy.
Do you almost feel like it has something to do with the way women have been perceived in the past, where it's like they're the lower gender kind of thing? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? How like men take the precedent over women, so maybe that has affected our confidence in ourselves?
For sure. I think it's so ingrained in us. Like, what if I said to you, think of a CEO of a massive company, you're probably gonna imagine some middle-aged white man, right?
Yeah.
Or if I said like,
Usually.
oh, picture a guy named Tom, what do you see? A middle-aged white man in a suit, probably, right?
Yeah.
Or just a white man. So it's just, I don't know, I think it's so ingrained in us. There's a more prevalent race and a more prevalent gender. So I think that's where, and also because we're women of color.
Yeah, women of color.
In this kind of world, this influencer industry, this whole YouTube thing, so we're underrepresented. That being said, I am half white, and I know, like, I feel awkward even saying that, but I think that's another reason.
Feel awkward saying what?
That I'm a woman of color, but I am, and so are you.
You're mixed, right? Like, you're mixed with, what are you mixed with?
German, Ukrainian, Filipino.
Okay, so you're a mix of a lot of things.
Yeah. I think that's another reason why a lot of women, especially women of, like, the minority, which I also don't like to say, but it is what it is. I think that's another reason why we don't present ourselves in a super confident way, because we feel like we're not even that typical example.
You know what's actually really interesting, because like a lot of people have told me in the past that they're like, oh, like I love your confidence, etc. Or like even in high school, like I had a friend who said, oh, you always look so put together. But on the inside, I was always feeling so insecure. I felt really so insecure with myself, but I was always trying like so much to like be the best. Like I wanted to like always be put together, and I guess that's what I was putting out there, but I just didn't feel inside as confident as I guess other people perceive me on the outside, which is really interesting.
That was the first impression I had of you, that like this girl is confident. Did you feel confident at that shoot?
Yeah, I actually at that point I did feel confident.
Okay.
I feel like I did overcome a lot of stuff at that point in my life, and I did feel very confident because I was going to the gym a lot, I was working a lot on myself, and I just, yeah, I felt very good. So yeah. I did feel confident, so I'm glad it came out that way.
Yeah.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So do you almost feel like, let's say you're a woman who's very confident, do you almost feel like sometimes it has a negative effect on other people that you maybe just met? Like they're almost like too intimidated by you because you're confident?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a reflection of who they are, though.
Yeah.
And not who you are. Because if your confidence or happiness in yourself kind of intimidates someone else or makes someone feel uncomfortable, then that's on them.
Yeah.
I think the way that you carry yourself, though, is important, too. If you're going to act like your shit don't stink and that you're better than everyone, no one's going to want to approach you, and that is on you. But if you're just confident and happy with who you are and you know what you bring to the table and it offends people, then I'd rather offend people. Like, I'm not going to apologize for who I am. I'm not going to play myself down to make other people feel comfortable. And I think in friendships or relationships that happens a lot. There's a lot of friends that I've had in the past who don't really want to see me succeed as much as they say they do, or they react really weird to my success, and I think everyone has experienced that at some point. So
that's because I feel like some people almost they feed off of your insecurities.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're at this level, so they want to keep you at this level, but they know that you have the potential to like skyrocket. But I feel like some people just want to keep you at the same level so that they feel comfortable.
And I think that's so important you mentioned that, because I think naturally you want to be a good friend, so you want to please people and you don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. But I think people are always selling themselves short by doing that. Like wanting to make sure everyone's comfortable so you're not going to excel at whatever you're doing. And I think that's bullshit. I think you should just go for it. If you're going to offend people, honestly, again, I'd rather offend them.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, actually.
Okay, sure.
So how did you finally come into your confidence at this point?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, I was just talking about this the other day at the event, and what I finally realized was people's opinions don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone's view of you does not matter. It's your view of yourself. And I realized this year through getting through some fake friendships and also like finding myself that no matter how real or how genuine you are, there's going to be people who don't like you no matter what. You're never going to have every single person on earth like you, and you're never going to please anyone. You're also never going to agree with everyone. I'm sure you and I will have opposing views sometimes, but we'll still respect each other. But again, I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
Right?
So how did you like overcome that? Like when did you feel like you finally overcame not being as confident in yourself versus finally being where you are, where you're very self-aware of yourself?
I think, and it's interesting because I think for me, my confidence right now is it's all about everything on the inside. I think my body confidence needs a lot of work. Even that, I'm way more confident than I was when I was like a size 2. And like, I want to lose weight right now, but I feel happier with myself still. But I think the way to answer your question, I got over that hump was just like, I realized that as long as I'm happy with myself, I literally just don't care. At some point, I just stopped caring because I realized I would try so hard to be genuine and real, and no matter what I did and no matter how nice I was or how above and beyond I went for people, there were still some people who weren't pleased, and I was like, why am I trying to please them? Like, I should just be happy with myself. And also, I don't owe anybody an explanation. I don't owe anybody an apology for being confident or doing what I want to do. So yeah, I think just learning how to not be a people pleaser and learning to just please myself and love myself, because I think at the end of the day, I don't give a shit if people don't like me. I think that's just where it came from. Honestly.
That's true. And it like I feel like in this day and age it is a little bit harder with social media and everything like that to like forget that other people are there like observing you and judging you. But at the end of the day, it depends on your mindset and how you think of yourself, because it really doesn't matter what other people think of you. It matters how you think of yourself, to be honest. Because it comes from within, and just because someone over there is saying like, oh, she looks weird like this, doesn't mean you have to think that exact same thing, right? So I feel like you just need to flick those people away and just don't worry about it. I'm trying to remember like what age I finally came into feeling confident in my own self. Like minus the physical parts, I feel like when I finally came into like knowing myself and who I am is like, I think I was like 25 or something.
Wow.
I think I was 25, because like crazy. I used to like always second guess myself, and like I grew up feeling like I was a complete idiot because people would treat me like I was stupid, and like I personally get so triggered when people treat me like I'm stupid, because I know that I'm not, but I feel like growing up in the regular school system, I was a very creative kid, so I feel like I was just put into this box of, okay, you should be good at math, you should be good at science, and then you go to university, and then you get a job. So that really affected my self-esteem as a person. So that I feel like I didn't learn who I was until later on in life after I graduated high school, you know? So
yeah, I remember actually watching your video the other day and you were talking about that, and it's so true, because in school people tell you you have to know how to do this, this, and this, but it's like that analogy people always use where if you if you try and make a fish climb a tree, the fish is gonna think it's stupid, right? And it's so like that in school. And for me, it's interesting because I always excelled in school, but then in other situations I was just not as good. Like for example, in gym class, I was the girl who would forget her clothes and like scream when a ball came near me, and I just thought I was like literally, it's funny to say now, but back then I was I was so self-conscious, and I was like, oh my god, something's wrong with me, like I can't play soccer, I don't know how to play football, and I just thought I was dumb. But you're not. Everyone has a different skill set, and everyone brings something to the table, whether or not it's academic. I have a question for you. So what would be your advice to someone who's struggling with their confidence in who they are as a person, not body image wise?
Someone who's struggling with their own confidence, I feel like what you need to do is you need to take a look at what you're viewing on social media or in like on TV in general, and you need to start like making cuts to what you're seeing. Like, let's say you're scrolling on your Instagram feed and you see something that makes you feel some type of way and makes you feeling insecure. As much as it sucks, like, I think you should just like unfollow that, or like even mute it if you don't want to unfollow them. Just mute it off your feed, because that was a huge thing that changed my confidence in myself, was stopping like looking at other people that, I don't know, were just making me feel like shit.
Yeah, that's so big.
Like, as much as like they may not be trying to make you feel like shit, I feel like looking at other people's stuff and focusing on other people that make you feel some type of way, it has a negative impact on your mental health. So, absolutely. And your confidence takes a hit too.
I totally agree. I was at a point before where I would look at Instagram and just look at a pretty girl and be like, oh my god, I'm so not that pretty. And it's so weird, because now I look at it as inspiration. I don't view myself as any less, because just because you're pretty doesn't mean I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not like that, but that's how I viewed it before. So I think that's super important to mention too. Social media is just not what it seems like. Take myself as a perfect example. If you watched my last video, so many people reached out and said, oh my god, I had no idea you were struggling, because all the pictures I posted and all my stories, it was just me out there having fun. Right?
Social media is not real life. Yeah, we post pictures that we think are awesome and beautiful and that we think you'll enjoy, but again, it's not real life.
And it's our highlight reel, really. That's why I think YouTube is such a good outlet for me, because I can talk more about my feelings. But Instagram, it's just like, I'm not gonna post a picture of me crying. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to show that.
Do, though, and that's cool too.
Yeah, and that's awesome, honestly. But I just think Instagram is such a highlight reel. So comparing yourself to someone's highlight reel to your real life is just so bad for your mental health. So I think that's super important to like.
And I personally used to be the type of girl, like, if I was in the same room as someone who was like super pretty, I would just feel so like, I would like go into my shell, and I would just feel so insecure.
Me too.
But like the thing you need to realize is, like, just because that person is super pretty doesn't mean that you don't have your own unique qualities yourself.
That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoy these girl talk videos, please let us know in the comments. If you have anything you want to add, join the conversation, comment down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you agree with, don't agree with, whatever. I'm down for it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button. I upload every Sunday, and give us a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed Nicole, because I did. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.